Good morning, students. This is Miraj, and today we are going to start our second chapter. As we know, in first chapter we study about the state of the matter. In the state of the matter, we were discussing that the matter is obtained in three states, generally that we see. So, if I talk about what are those three states, so we discuss there is one state that we call solid, and other one is liquid, and the last one is gas. Okay, we study about these three of the stage in details. Here you understand quietly, if we discuss about this state on the basis of the kinetics energy, then we know those particles which have the more kinetic energy, they try to be in the state of gas. Okay, the molecules of anything that they have the low kinetic energy, they try to be in the state of solid state. In case of the medium, they be in the liquid state. So if we try to explain solid state, liquid state, gaseous state on the basis of kinetic energy, then we know the gaseous and state has the more kinetic energy, the liquid, and the last one is solid. So the lowest and the least kinetic energy that we really need to understand that solid have. Okay, here we also understand one thing: the particles of the solid remained with each other. They are closely bound with each other, and if attraction force bind them together. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to start our next chapter, the second chapter. There we study about is matter in around us pure. So first of all, you have to understand the word pure. The pure defined something that is found in a unique type of atoms or unique type of molecules. If something is made up of unique type of atoms or molecules, we call that the pure. So in case of, like, if I ask you, like, we have something like oxygen molecule, and if there is only oxygen molecule, then we call that this is a pure. And if something, like, for example, I give you the example like air. As we know, the air has a lot of the gases: dust particles, smoke, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and there are a lot of the gases present in air. So this is a impure substance, or we can say like the matter that is impure, or it is a mixture. So basically you have to study here some important points, and you have to go through the purity or impurity on the basis of scientific scale. Okay, how you will measure the thing on the basis of scientific scale. Let's go. We discuss the one and the most important thing, as we divided the matter in two parts: physically physically three parts, and chemically two parts. So we know last time what we did in a physical state. If we talk about, we classify the matter is found in three states: the solid, liquid, and gases. But in the case of chemical composition, or on the basis of chemical properties, it is divided into two parts. This, the first part, that we call that the pure substance. In case of the pure substance, we divide it into two parts, and that is elements and compounds. Let me clear one more thing here. The elements mean is they are having single type of atoms, a single type of atoms. In case of compound, they are having a single type of molecules. Okay, we will understand these things: the single type of particles of something, or the single type of molecules, or we can say like the single type of particles. They are made up of elements, one or more elements, that is called the compounds. Okay, the matter is classified into two main types. The first is pure substance and the second is mixture. We just discussed the pure substance and the mixture. And here the pure substance are of two types. They are elements and compounds. We know about them. Okay, the mixtures are also two types. The first is homogeneous mixture and the second one is heterogeneous mixture. So understand the homo and hetero, you have to take this first word, homo and hetero. Let me clarify this. Homo mean is, if we talk about in Hindi, that is saman. You have something that looks like same at every place, so that is called the homo. In case of hetero, that is different. If you find somehow different components in something, and that is, you can identify them easily by just seeing, so that is called the hetero. So here you really need to study the homogeneous mixtures and the heterogeneous mixture. We will discuss about this in further slide, and we will understand how these things are different and how these things can be used in our general life. And this is a okay. The next slide, in which we will discuss or talk about the pure substances and mixtures. So what are the pure substances? Here is a substance which consists of a single type of substance, elements or compound. There is a substance or a compound that has only single type of elements, that is called a pure substance. Only single type of element. So for example, we talk about iron. It has a single type. As we know, the iron is itself a Fe. Okay, and the copper, Cu, and hydrogen, H2, oxygen, O2, water, H2O, and sugar itself, C12, H22O11. Okay, and common salt like NaCl. These all are type of a pure compounds. If there is only single type of substance is found, that is called the pure compounds. Now the second thing that we really need to discuss here, that is a mixture. So what are mixture? The generally, as we know, the mixtures are those when you mix two or more things together, or the two or more substances together, that is called a mixture. So for example, seawater, we know there are a lot of the salts, those were mixed in the seawater. Like minerals are itself is a salt. Soil, it has a lot of the salts mix and the chemicals, compounds. Air, sand and salt. Sugar in water, and like a salt in water, all are type of a mixture. So here, if we talk about the differences between pure substances and mixture, so you have to consider there is, in a case of pure, there is only single type of substance. But in case of a mixture, there are two or more than two substances mixed with each other. This is called the mixture. Okay, here the difference between pure substances and mixture. So remember, when we try to define something on the basis, like we create a difference between two things, then always start with definition. So first, it is single type of, and it is two or more types of substances. Okay, pure substances cannot be separated into other substances by a physical method. Okay, the physical method, let me clarify this. The physical methods are those methods in which you notice there is no change in their composition takes place. So that is called the physical methods. Here you can simply or very easily can separate them by physical methods, because there are two type of compounds, and they can be separated from each other without changing their composition. Pure substances has its definite properties, means the pure substances those you have, they have their own definite properties. They behave according to their properties. But in case of the mixture, there is their properties defined by the substances those were mixed together. Understand? Okay, here it is finished now. Now we discuss about the type of a mixture. So in case of a type of mixture, we know there is a two type of mixture, the homogeneous mixture and a heterogeneous mixture, and its definition is very simple actually. So we will talk about both of them stepwise. So first we discuss about the homogeneous. So in case of homogeneous, you need to know about it is uniform. Uniform means you will find it completely similar at every place, so its composition is uniform. Okay, and the second thing that you really need to understand, the mixture are not visible by naked eyes. If you try to see without using anything like any machine or instruments, so you will find you can't see them, the particle present in it, you can't see them by your naked eyes, or the particle cannot be separated by filtration. Okay, if you try to filter them by using filter paper or some other process that use physical filtration process, so you can't separate them by that. Okay, the mixture is stable. Stables mean is when you mix something and you keep it for some long time, and you find that is the material present in it that will settle down or not settle down. So in case of if it is not settling down on the bottom or on the top of the liquid or anything you have, so that is called the stable. So in case of the homogeneous mixtures, you find they are stable, and the material that was mixed in it, that is completely remain mixed with the other particles of the this mixture. Okay, when you when you pass a light through these, so you will notice not visible in a mixture the path of the light. Like if you are incidenting a light on it, so you will find the path of the light will not will visible in it at finally. Okay, we need to understand the example of it. So the first and the most important example is sugar in water. When you mix sugar in water, you can't see the particles because it dissolved completely in the water. The other one, mixture of salt in water, the same thing happens with these, because you can't identify that this is the salt particle or it is the water particle. The mixtures of copper sulfate in water, it is also one of salt. This is sulfate is a salt that when you mix in a water, you will find it will dissolve completely, and you see a uniform composition of a complete mixture. Now the second one we really need to discuss, it is completely opposite of homogeneous. So if you remember the properties of homogeneous, so you can write it uh, in heterogeneous mixture too, but you have to make it opposite of that. So for example, like is a mixture which has non uniform composition, okay, and the particle can be seen by naked eyes, okay, it can be separated by filtration, it is unstable because if you mix something in it, you will and you will leave it for a some time, you will find like it will settle down or it will divide it into two layers. And when you pass a light through a mixture, so you will find like the path of the light will be visible completely. Okay, now we need to understand what are those mixtures. So for example, if you mix salt with sand, you will easily identify these are the particles of the salt and these are the particles of the sand. In a mixture of sulfur and iron, as we know, the sulfur and iron, when we mix both of them, what you know is sulfur is a yellow color material and the iron is a bluish color material. So you can easily identify which one is the iron filling and which one is the sulfur particle. Now we talk about the mixtures of the oil and water. So it is a very common thing. When you go through these, you understand after some time the oil make a different layer and water itself is settled down according to their densities. So two layers of the material you can see in the mixture. Okay, the next one we are going to discuss about the true solutions. But before it, take a break and we will discuss about the true solutions. What are these and how it is different from heterogeneous and how it is similar to homogeneous cell mixtures. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.